Okay, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all the update real quick on that Garcia case. Now, he has a hearing to be released and from this district court. But here's where it gets a little bit funky about it. The United States government has asked to what they call well, anyway, some of these words that be so blah, blah, blah. They're asking the court, can they leave it a little bit to put in more stuff against this man? They said that this man is he's in the MS-13 gang. He's in a gang. They said he's committed domestic violence. They say he has child pornography. They throwing the books at him. But here is the question that they're doing to this man that makes no sense. They're asking the court. This man is such a violent person. He's committed so much of these acts and criminal acts, and he's done all of this. Why is the Trump administration, Department of Justice, asking for it to be sealed? It's just like that. Wait a minute now. They're just like that Epstein file. They don't want you to see it. They telling you that it's wrong. They telling you that Trump had nothing to do with just like that Garcia man. You know, he's this big gang member. He's been killing and ravishing all over the country, all over everywhere. Why would you want that to be sealed? Something to think about. If Trump ain't involved with the Epstein file, if he ain't done nothing wrong, surely I would want somebody to know that, hey, if I'm not part of the Epstein thing, I wasn't with the reindeer gang, that I wasn't hanging out with Rudolph, that I would want that file to be released, if anything, to clear my name, to clear my name, that my children, my wife, my further reputation. Yeah. I would want that to be cleared up. I would want it to be cleared up so that for finally rest. But see, them Democrats, they said, well, you know what? Well, we gonna do this now since they sitting up here saying that Trump ain't in the file. Well, let's go ahead, Congress, let's release the file. Now them Republicans turned around and said, no, we don't want that. But Trump said it ain't no foul. But that lady that's sitting in jail, she said, hey, I'll tell you what you want to know. If the Supreme Court, if you want to get out of jail, if you let me out of jail. And since it ain't no foul, why did the United States persecute me if it wasn't no foul? Now, if this man was part of the MS-13 gang, surely the media would have found all this stuff that he claimed he doing, and they would have been more than happy to expose him and to make themselves look good. But they lying about it, and then they asking the court to seal it. See, that judge getting tired. He tired. See, Judge Campbell got put up in some mess he wasn't really ready for. That judge got put up in some mess he wasn't really expecting, see, because they trying to use these red states now like the Democrats. So this right here shows that, you know what, when Trump find out that you doing something wrong, I guess he'll put me with the Black Panther Party, and say that I was hanging out with Huey Newton, and even though I wasn't even born then, but he's getting his stuff all ready together so that if he don't like you, or he trying to find a reason to deport. See, this is gonna go toward American citizens. See, he's gonna start going into our backgrounds, the ones that are really speaking up. He's going to go into our backgrounds and find out how far, he going to say, well, since so-and-so slavery was here, and we're going to deport you and all of that. And then we're going to ask the court to seal it. We're going to seal the document because we don't want nobody to know what we're doing. See, we finna do something underhanded and low down, and we need to have it sealed so that we can continue to do that Gestapo stuff without somebody knowing what's going on. And so this man who has another judge that told them to release, they coming down here now to get a release. Oh, by the way, federal judges can't cross each other out. See, district judges can't cross each other out. See, if a judge make a ruling for him to be released, then this judge here has to hear that condition of release and has to release him. Yeah. See, but then if Trump actually knew about the law, then he would have known that he could have had that man up there and stuff. But see, you know what? And he could have had him up there, wherever court he was in, and let that judge fool with him. But now he got to find a low down judge to do his dirty work. Well, the Supreme Court is helping him do his dirty work. Yeah. You know that old Supreme Court that we used to trust, that we used to think that, they was in our best interest. Now they went along with the Gestapo team. 6 of them. Loyal to the trust. See, I believe that when Elon Musk got a hold of all our personal information, he didn't care about you poor people or you middle class that very struggling. No, he got Social Security and important information off of federal judges, congressmen, representatives, folks that can make a difference in your life. See, folks that can change things and have a voice and stuff. So you notice that now people are not thinking about doing the right thing. You have to ask a question. Who has a bounty on, when I say bounty, I mean like who has a bag over the Supreme Court head? That they would go ahead and violate every kind of constitution to let Trump have his way. Now, see, if anything happened to Trump, then you could say, well, and it's still going on, then you could say it's some other movers and shakers in the back, like Steve Miller, or it ain't Elon Musk, Steve Miller, all these Nazi folks. All these Nazi people. It's making you, this right here, his update is that his court date is now, today, July 16th. That's where the federal government is asking for. They want to go and they made some false statements and stuff, but they saying that Garcia made some false statements, and they trying to go back now and kind of clean up what they did. See, America the Gestapo, alligator Alcatraz. But I'm gonna end it on this note. In New York, there was a flood, and the funny thing about it, it was on a subway, and people were standing there like they were waiting on the train to move. It was flooding. They was looking at all that flood, that water come down, that thing, and you would have thought they would have panicked and stuff. They still holding on the rails and doing all of that. And, one lady, she picked her feet up so her feet wouldn't get wet. But you got New Mexico had a flood. Yeah, New Mexico had a flood. Texas had a bigger flood, because Texas, they governor said that if Jesus came down there, he would be illegal and he would be detained. But y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. Y'all thinking that God is all happy about you doing all this illegal stuff and you doing all this mess and everything, and God is just happy because he's about documented and undocumented, and he's about holding up the law in the name of Jesus. But you look at the fact that Trump now is becoming a piece of broken down human piece of shit. Oh, that's before he started getting the health conditions. I'm sorry, I kind of backed up. Yeah, his hands are getting fat, his ankles are getting fat. They putting all that orange makeup on him to make him look like he doing that. They said he was on Ozempic. He losing weight. Yeah. Christmas is coming soon. Christmas is coming soon. But all these folks that's doing low down and you know, they think they can get away with it. I'm going to tell you something. Until the end of the world, payback don't have to happen immediately. But karma always occurs.